Hello, year 5, how are you? This is an English lesson by Miss Salma. So to continue with our figures of speech and the figurative language that we said we often use in poetry, and the previous lesson we discussed metaphors and similes. Now we'll discuss a third type of figures of speech, which is personification. Personification. From the name of personification, what do you think it would be? Person. It starts with person. Maybe it's about persons. It's about things that we relate or compare to persons. Like we said before in a metaphor, I compare two things. Maybe here I compare things to persons. Let's see. Our television blinked, then went to sleep in the storm. What did I use here? I used blinked and I used went to sleep. Could a television do that? Could a television blink or sleep? Of course no. Okay, who can blink and go to sleep? These are human features. These are human attributes or features. Attributes means features or qualifications. All right, so what's the meaning of personification? Here, it's a figure of speech in which a thing, an idea, or an animal is given human feature or quality. Again, like blinking, going to sleep, dancing, and more verbs or actions. All right, personification gives an object human attributes. Underline. Gives an object human attribute, such as feeling, speech, and movement. It is often used by poets, again in poetry, to put a picture in our minds of what they are writing about. It also makes it more interesting and vivid. It gives mental image. It makes you able to think of how things are going in the poem. Example, the moon was but a chin of gold. Was but a chin of gold, it means it was a chin of gold. So, chin of gold here means, does the moon have a chin? Chin? No, it doesn't. So, let me draw a face here to show you what is the chin. This part here is called our chin. This is your chin. So, does the moon have a chin? No, it doesn't. It was a chin of gold. What does that mean? It means that the moon was not complete. It was incomplete. It was still small. A night or two ago. So the moon was but a chin of gold a night or two ago. So 2 nights ago, the moon was still incomplete. But now, she turns her perfect face. I said that the moon is a she. I used a pronoun, a third person singular pronoun for persons, which makes personification, turns her perfect face. Does the moon have a face? No, it doesn't have a face, but here when I say perfect face, I mean now the moon is complete and full. That the moon became full. Upon the world below. So now the moon is turning their face, means now the moon is complete upon the world below, upon earth. Emily Dickinson is the writer of that poem. Obviously the moon does not really have a face, but people do. So here I compared an object to persons So to give us a better idea of how the moon looks. So this is called personification. All right, here we have some exercises. Whispered, told, bowed, burst, spat, and groaned. And that's that's page 98 in the textbook, page 98. So copy and complete the sentences below these sentences by adding an example of personification from the list of from the list. The first one has been done for you. This is the list. I have a list of words, verbs, things that people do, human attributes, and I need to give them two objects, like the snow, the machine, the old bed, the tree, the clock, and the old engine. And the verbs or the actions or the human attributes I have are told, bowed, burst, spat, groaned. The snow, and whispered of course, but it's been done for us. The snow whispered as it fell from the night sky. The snow whispered as it fell from the night sky. So the snow fell silently maybe. Unlike the rain when it falls it makes noise. The sound of the water droplets hitting the ground is noisy. Unlike the snow whispers. The machine, you know the vending machine, whenever you are in a mall, it has cans and chocolates and chips and so on. This vending machine out the chocolate bar. What could the machine do to give you the chocolate bar? How can I describe the action? Like told out or bowed? Bowed means to, if you're greeting audience after your presentation, you would bow for them. To like bend your body or your knee or your head. Burst or spat or groaned. And we have a spat, it means it's the past of spit. And groaned, like screaming sound. Screaming sound. Or showing pain. Not very high scream, but just to show pain. So the machine, what out the chocolate bar? It's spit, but the past of it, which is spat. Spat out the chocolate bar. The old bed, space, as the children leapt onto it. The old bed, of course it makes noise. The old bed, when people jump on it or children jump on it, it makes sound. How do you think I would describe that sound? I can describe it as groaning sound. As if the bed can feel, the bed can groan. So this is number 3, as I don't have a space. The old bed groaned. Number 4, the tree down to me as I walked under its wet branches. The tree told or bowed or burst down to me as I walked under its wet branches. It's like the tree's trying to protect me from maybe water. So the tree bowed. It bends when I walk under its. This is the past of bow. This is number 4. The clock, what space? The clock space me that it was time to leave the school or leave for school. When you're asleep and then you put on the alarm to wake you up to go to school. It was time to leave for school. So it's like the clock is waking you up. Wake up, wake up. It's telling you to wake up. And of course the clock doesn't tell or doesn't talk, but it is a personification. The old engine burst space into life as I turned the key. Of course, it's burst, it's the only one left. Burst means it came back to life. So told is number 5, burst is number 6. All right, in this text you need to copy it in a copybook. Circle 7 places where the author has used personification to talk about the tree. The first one has been also done for you. The oak tree, oak is just kind of a tree, in my garden is an old friend to me. Here we describe the tree is a friend, and that's a human attribute. Objects cannot be friends. When I climbed onto his knee, does the tree have a knee? No, it doesn't. So here, his knee. And I also used his as a pronoun, not its, dealing with the tree as a person, a boy. He wraps his long arms. He wraps his long arms around me. Does the tree have an arm or arms? No, it doesn't have any arms. Can it wrap its arms? That doesn't have, of course, no. So that's also a personification. And he keeps me warm when he discards. He keeps me warm. He discards his coat in winter. So discards his coat in winter. We moan. Moan is also the sound of groaning, showing pain to each other, like we complain to each other, especially when the wind gusts and he reaches down to me. Can the tree reach down to somebody, bend their knees and go down to somebody? No. When the raindrops weigh heavily on his arms. Underline these in your book or in your copybook. Here, a note, a side note, it says nursery rhymes include personification too. Like, the dish ran away with the spoon. So here you can imagine that the dish and the spoon are holding hands and they running together. And they don't have legs to run and they don't have hands to hold together. So usually in songs and nursery rhymes specifically, we use personification. Also, an example of personification is Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast. Why? Of course, you know that we had talking objects. Talking objects. Can objects talk? Can a clock talk? No. Can a candle talk? Also no. So these were personification, and we also categorize them or this story as a fable since it has talking objects. So we use personification in fables. Also like ants and grasshopper. The last figures of speech example we have is alliteration. It's called alliteration. What's alliteration? I'll give you examples first. Bouncing bunnies, fragrant flowers, cookies, cupcakes, and candy. The pirate's parrot. Pirate's parrot. 2 tasty tacos. Again, bouncing bunnies, fragrant flowers, cookies, cupcakes, candy, pirate's parrot, 2 tasty tacos. Another example. Are you trying to guess or you just read the note? Pickled, peck, pepper, Peter, picked, piper, these words. So they all start with the same consonant sound. They all start with the same what? Consonant sound. Bouncing bunnies, B and B. Fragrant flowers, F and F. Cookies, cupcakes, candies, triple C, 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 C. The pirate's parrot. I'm sorry for the picture is not so clear on the board. P and P. Two tasty tacos, triple T. So this makes very good sound. Again, as we said, poems are meant to be read out loud. They have intonation, they have rhythm, they have rhyming words. So that's one technique to use to make your poem sound better. So it's a literary device in which a series of words begin with the same consonant sound. Only consonant. Again, it's a literary device which a series of words begin with the same consonant sound, like these examples. So that's today's lesson. Thank you so much for listening. And your homework, you have homework in the workbook, and it's page 44 and 45. Thank you. Goodbye.